internet by storm when he was caught rapping to his class. Please welcome Dr. Aaron Smith.
Well, but before we begin, I have to know where you got your jacket, because it's awesome.
This jacket?
Yes.
Temple Bookstore.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Shouts out to Jim. Jim's the manager over there. So
Okay.
Shout
maybe
out
I
to
can get
Jim.
a discount, you know. Jim and Latoya.
Okay.
And don't forget the belt.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
You're really
Temple
repping.
made. We the tea.
I see the bookstore stepped up their game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only for Dr. Smith.
Okay, so I heard that you teach a representing race class. It's a gen ed here at Temple. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, the Representing Race course, general education course, about 60% of my students now are freshmen, so this is one of their initial experiences to the university. And it's beautiful because just Temple being such a diverse university, we can really benefit from the dialogue that takes place, you know, from people from different walks of life, different backgrounds, and just having honest conversations about some oftentimes hard subjects to address in typical conversation, but we create a safe space so people feel comfortable.
Okay, so you're teaching your class, representing race, and all of a sudden you start rapping, and a student pulls out their phone and they start recording you. Your video goes viral. What was that reaction? Were you like, why am I all over the internet? Why are people talking about me?
Well, I should say I was trying to teach a class because the class was looking at me like we were not planning on learning. So I came in and they were just like staring at me like welcome week is long gone and we have nothing to look forward to but midterms and you better make this good. So I said, I understand, I get it, you know, and then I proceeded to let them know I had a background, you know, entertainment, and I was going to use it, you know, to the best of my abilities to make sure they didn't feel like, you know, this was the worst possible place they could be.
So when you started rapping, you were rapping about the class, or what exactly were you rapping about, or why?
It was to the tune of a song by Big Sean, One Man Could Change the World, and basically just discussing the typical struggles a freshman would go through, being away from home, having to manage their time and hand in assignments, and just focusing on perseverance, you know, and you can make it. 2019.
Since you've started rapping, have you noticed that your students have interacted differently with your class and the material you present?
Well, definitely. Just it's like the pre-rap, post-rap moment. You know, if we could divide time, it'd be by, you know, the viral moment, because then they feel comfortable. They actually come to my office hours sometimes, believe it or not, right? Go figure. I guess if you share who you are and parts of yourself in a genuine way, the students are encouraged to do the same.
Now, before you became a professor, you had a background in the music industry. So how did that translate into becoming a professor? Did you use any of that other than just rapping? Do you use any of that in your everyday teaching life?
Now
Now that
the video,
you're famous.
Yeah, now that it's out there, there's no need to pretend. But I was often concerned about transferable skills. Like, I'm coming from this entertainment background. Will I be able to use any of this? Or will I have to pretend that, you know, I'm so professorial that I don't listen to that kind of music and I have no, you know, no desire to play it the second I leave class sometimes and get in my car and turn it up to 10. So, now I can really be me.
Well, what exactly inspired you to make that jump from music to teaching?
Oh, that's easy. Dr. Molefe Kete Asante.
He has a cool last name,
yeah.
cool name altogether.
Dr. Asante is the chair of the Department of African American Studies here at Temple University. And just taking his classes just opened my mind up to a whole world that I didn't know existed. And when I talk about these hard conversations and these histories that aren't typically discussed in school, he presented it in a way where you weren't bitter, even though you were provoked to try to encourage change. You weren't upset at individuals, but more so upset about the system and the way that we can play a part in changing the system and doing better than the generations before us in a lot of ways.
Awesome, awesome. So you're actually teaching a class on Tupac next year for the 16-17 school year. Tell us a little bit about that. That sounds interesting.
Well, the Tupac course came about because I actually walked in Dr. Science's office one day and I had an idea because every student I had their iPods in when they came to class. And I said, why are we not accessing this language that they're all speaking? We all talk about how to identify with students, but if we're not talking their language, how can we do that?
Right, right. Well, I like that this class. I'm sure a bunch of students are gonna take that class, especially because he's signing up. He's already in. Well, thank you so much for the interview. We'll be back with you. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Dr. Smith. We have a little surprise for you.
But first, check out Rachel Keller getting zombified at Eastern State Penitentiary. We'll be right back.